अपनी ग्रीक लिटरेचर की सीरीज को फिर से आगे लेके चलते हैं. इन द लास्ट लेक्चर आई हैव टोल्ड यू अबाउट द पोइट्री सेक्शन of classical age. As I told you that our complete Greek literature is divided into 5 ages. So first age was Homeric age and we have completed it very well. Second was pre-classical age, that was like a barren period. And third age was classical age, that is 500 to 300 BCE. Right? And in this age, I have given you the 5 sections of the literature which have been covered. Because why it is called as classical age? Because almost all the genres were covered in this age. So we have completed the poetry section in our last video. I have completed the poetry section. In poetry, there were 2 writers which I have given you. That first is Pindar and second is Sappho. Right? We have completed these writers in our last lecture. And second genre after poetry is drama. Definitely a very important genre to be dealt with. And this drama is divided into 2 parts: tragedy and comedy. So today we are going to deal with tragedy. There are 3 main tragedians in this age. So इस age में जो 3 main tragedians हैं, all these 3 tragedians are known as father of Greek tragedies. Father of Greek tragedies. And who are these fathers of Greek tragedies? There are 3 people, as I have told you. 3 people. What are the names? Sophocles, Euripides, and third is Aeschylus. So today I am going to start with Sophocles and his dramas with you. So let's start with tragedy and their drama with Sophocles. ठीक है, आज हम लोग Sophocles कंप्लीट करेंगे इसी सीरीज के अंदर. Let me rub this and we'll start with Sophocles. So the first dramatist Sophocles, and he is known as father of Greek tragedies. He is known as father of Greek tragedies. His timings is 497 to 406 BCE. That is his timing. So in his complete lifetime, it has been said that he has written almost 120 dramas. Out of that, only 7 dramas are saved, or 7 dramas are available to us. ठीक है, इसने मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ मेनी वॉर्स, बिकॉज ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन, अटैक्स, एंड वी नो फॉल ऑफ कॉन्स्टेंटिनोपल, बहुत सारा लिटरेचर फॉल ऑफ कॉन्स्टेंटिनोपल की वजह से खत्म हो गया था. तो इन सभी चीजों की वजह से हो सकता है कि इनके लिखे हुए ड्रामास भी खत्म हो गए हों. तो दैट कैन बी ऑल्सो अ रीजन. बट यस, ये कहा जाता है कि इन्होंने अपने लाइफ टाइम में कितने ड्रामास लिखे थे. ही हैज रिटन 120 plays, and out of that कितने अवेलेबल है हमारे पास? only 7 plays are available. So हम लोग इन्हीं 7 plays के ऊपर फोकस करेंगे. ठीक है, आज हम लोग इन्हीं 7 plays के ऊपर फोकस करेंगे. और ये जो 7 plays हैं, ये 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड है. एक तो ट्रायलॉजी है और दूसरा जो है इनका वो ट्रायलॉजी नहीं है, दैट इज सिंगल प्लेस, जिसको हम ट्रोजन प्लेस भी बोलते हैं. So let's first I'm giving you the name of the plays and then I will give you the description related to these plays. So first let me write down the name of the plays. First is Theban Trilogy. Obviously it's a trilogy, so there must be 3 plays in that. In Theban Trilogy, first is Oedipus the Rex, most famous play by Sophocles. Oedipus the Rex, यही से टर्म आया एडिपस कॉम्प्लेक्स का, एंड दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑल द लिटरेरी स्टूडेंट्स, क्योंकि ये साइकोलॉजिकल कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है, ये लिटरेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है, और ये बार बार हर लिटरेचर में, हर बुक में कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी थ्रू, किसी ना किसी कैरेक्टर के थ्रू इसको रिप्रेजेंट किया गया है. तो वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड दीज कॉम्प्लेक्सेस आल्सो. तो दिस इज द फर्स्ट प्ले वेयर आई एम गोइंग टू डील विद द कॉम्प्लेक्स एज वेल. एंड इस ट्रायलॉजी का फर्स्ट प्ले है एडिपस द रेक्स. सेकंड इज Oedipus at Colonus, and last is Antigone. These are the three play in this section. Now the other plays of Sophocles is Ajax, the Stone Man, third is Women at Trachis, and last is Electra. These are known as his ट्रोजन प्लेस. ये तीनों इसके ट्रोजन प्लेस कहलाते हैं. ये तीनों इसके थीबियन ट्रेजेडीज के अंदर आते हैं. एंड द लास्ट प्ले which is out of all these, that is another or fifth play by him is Philoctetes. Philoctetes is not much important. We are not going to read this play क्योंकि इसका कहीं पे भी किसी further आगे किसी play के अंदर as a character या कहीं पे भी हमें रेफरेंस नहीं मिला है, ना ही कहीं कोई नेट के अंदर या किसी और एलटी ग्रेड असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर किसी भी एग्जामिनेशन में कभी कोई रेफरेंस नहीं मिला है. तो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डील with this play, but definitely Electra is a most important play like Oedipus. These are the two complexes, and Theban trilogy के ये तीनों plays I'm going to deal with. Ajax is a very important man, and Women at Trachis is not so important, so I'm going to leave that also. And Philoctetes, ये दोनों play मैं यहाँ पे छोड़ दूंगी और बाकी के plays I'm going to, out of 7 I will take 5 plays with you. Okay, so let's start with the Theban trilogy. First of all, Oedipus the Rex. What is the story of Oedipus the Rex? Now I have to just deal with the story part with you. See, Oedipus the Rex, that in Greek language means the swollen foot. The swollen foot पैर सूज जाता है. आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कई बार इसको एलिफेंटेसिस भी बोलते हैं किसी बीमारी के अंदर. तो उस तरीके से जब फूट नीचे का केवल फूट पार्ट आपका स्वेल हो जाता है और उसके ऊपर एंकल पार्ट बहुत छोटा रह जाता है, तो उसको वहां पे रेक्स बोला जाता है. इसके पीछे रीजन क्या था? बिकॉज जो कैरेक्टर है इसमें एक क्रियॉन, उन्होंने उनको इस तरीके से एंकलेट दैट इज पायल पहनाई थी और वो इतना टाइट बांधी थी कि वो खुल नहीं पाई और वो फंस गई. तो वहां से ब्लड सर्कुलेशन का उनका नीचे का पैर पूरा सूज गया था. तो ही हैड दैट काइंड ऑफ डिफॉर्मिटी, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज Oedipus the Rex. ओके, इसमें इसका मीनिंग ये है. But anyways, the story is very important. Why it is known as Theban trilogy? Because तीनों की तीनों प्लेस की जो सेटिंग है, that is the country of Thebes. That is the country of Thebes. इसकी सेटिंग रहेगी तीनों में. इसका लोकेशन जो है वो Thebes है, इसलिए इसको Theban trilogy बोला गया है. Another thing, Oedipus the Rex के जो कैरेक्टर हैं, that is different from Oedipus at Colonus and Antigone. सबके कैरेक्टर्स डिफरेंट हैं, but हाँ, they come in a trilogy because it is in a sequence. They all are sequential plays. So let's start with Oedipus the Rex. Oedipus the Rex के अंदर the king is King Laius. Queen is Jocasta. Creon is very important, the brother of Jocasta, and Tiresias. Tiresias is the oracle. These are the main characters, and obviously Oedipus is also a main character here. Now, what is the story? The story is King Laius and Jocasta are the husband and wife, and they had a son, Oedipus. Oedipus is a very good-looking, very charming boy. Tiresias was a Theban oracle who has been asked to come there to tell the prophecy about the son, to tell the future of the son, obviously, like everyone. So he came and he told that this boy is a cursed boy, and if he will be there in the palace, he will be there in the city, then definitely in future he will kill his father, will marry his mother, and for that the gods and ancestors will get annoyed and plague and drought will fall in the city. तो यहाँ पे टायरेशियस की क्या भविष्यवाणी थी, क्या प्रोफेसी थी कि ये जो बच्चा है he will kill his father, will marry his mother, और उसकी वजह से जितने भी एंसेस्टर्स हैं, जितनी भी सोल्स हैं, स्पिरिट्स हैं जो कि इस थीब्स सिटी को गार्ड करती है, वो नाराज हो जाएंगी. एंड प्लेग एंड ड्रॉट इज सूखा. ठीक है, सूखा हमारी इस तरीके की चीजें थीब्स की सिटी में आ जाएंगी, और इससे बचाने के लिए उसका एक ही तरीका है, दैट यू हैव टू सैक्रिफाइस द सन टू द गॉड. King Laius and Jocasta were puzzled, but they have to follow the prophecy. They asked Creon, because Creon is the uncle of Oedipus, and Jocasta has shared everything with Creon. So she told everything to Creon and asked him to kill this boy. He followed the order because it was of the king's order. So he took the boy and went there out of the gates of Thebes to kill that boy. He found a cave and he thought that it is very smelly and gusty. So उसको लगा कि इतनी स्मेली है, इतनी गस्ती सी अजीब सी गुफा है, केव है, तो दैट मस्ट बी ऑफ सम काइंड ऑफ डेविल और सम बिग वाइल्ड एनिमल, या तो किसी बहुत बड़े वाइल्ड एनिमल की है या किसी डेविल की है ये केव. तो यहाँ इस बच्चे को छोड़ देते हैं एंड डेविल और द इविल स्पिरिट और द एनिमल विल ईट द चाइल्ड, क्योंकि वहां पे वो केव इसी तरह की थी. तो वो वहां पे उसको छोड़ देता है एंड ही डिसाइड्स कि आई विल कम आफ्टर सम डेज एंड इफ आई फाइंड दिस एंकलेट हियर, अगर मुझे वो किसी हड्डी में या ऐसे ही एंकलेट पड़ी हुई मिली तो आई विल अंडरस्टैंड कि बच्चा मर गया है. और मे बी नहीं मिली तो पता नहीं, फिर लेट्स सी. बस तब यहाँ पे कुछ अनसर्टेन सी चीज उसने करी. उसने कहा मैं मार नहीं सकता, इट इज वेरी इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी टू किल स्लॉटर दिस चाइल्ड बाय माय ओन हैंड, सो आई कैन लीव इट ऑन हिज ओन फेट. तो वो उसको वहां पे छोड़ के चला जाता है. From the same route, after some time, after a few hours, the king of Corinth and queen of Corinth were passing through the same way, and they just heard the sound of crying of a child. They went to the way and they found that the child is wearing gold. It is wrapped in royal cloth. So they understood that that must be some cursed child, and the king or some royal must have thrown it, or it must be a illegitimate child of someone, so they must have thrown it. So they took the child because they were childless and they couldn't have a child according to the prophecy, so they adopted the child. They took it to Corinth. They brought him up and named him Oedipus. Now he became big and he heard many stories about Thebes, that it is a very beautiful city. The city's gates were guarded by the spirits. No one with a bad motive can enter the gates of cities just like that. It is guarded by supernatural powers and it is beautiful. The music, the environment inside the city of Thebes is very attractive. So he just wanted, always was attracted to the city of Thebes, the kingdom of Thebes, and he wanted to see it. So one day, with a troop of a soldier, he was passing through the same route, and there was a river in between. And at the banks of the river, when they were taking rest, they decided to go to at least to the gates of Thebes. तो जब उन्होंने ये डिसाइड किया कि चलो एक बार एटलीस्ट गेट ऑफ थीव्स तक जाकर आते हैं, वहां पे देखते हैं कौन से सुपरनैचुरल एलिमेंट्स है, दोस आर गार्डिंग द सिटी, लेट्स सी किस तरीके की सिटी है, किस तरीके के वो स्पिरिट्स हैं. दे वर डिसाइडिंग इट एंड सम स्पाइस वर देयर. दे गेव द इंफॉर्मेशन टू द किंग इन अ रॉन्ग वे. Laius with a big troop arrived there and he was also coming at the same side, and he saw that a person with a few soldiers is approaching to the gates of city. He misunderstood it and he started fighting with Oedipus. Oedipus tried to make him understand that I am not going to attack. I am not someone who is attacking or approaching the city in a wrong way or with the wrong intention. But I just wanted to see the beautiful city. So Laius, when he was listening to him, when he tried to listen to him, the wheel of the chariot hit with the stone and the wheel got disbalanced. Both were holding the swords and Laius fell on the chariot of Oedipus and his neck was on the sword of Oedipus. So it cut down. And everyone took it as Oedipus killed Laius. So obviously, unfortunately or fortunately, he killed him. जो प्रोफेसी था that come true. So prophecy was कि वो अपने फादर को मारेगा, he will be responsible for the death of the father. तो वही हुआ. चाहे misunderstanding से there was a kind of disturbance was there between the two. He was trying to convince him that I am not going to attack. Please understand, I just want to see the city. कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है. But उसे सुनने से पहले ही जो वो disturbance हुआ chariots के ऊपर चल रहा था, तो वो रोकने लगे अपने चैरियट्स में. वो डिस्टरबेंस की वजह से वहां पे गिरा और मर गया. अब जब वो Laius is dead, तो obviously Oedipus said to the soldiers that I want to take the body to inside the city for cremation. मैं खुद भी sad हूँ इस event के लिए और मैं खुद cremation में शामिल होना चाहता हूँ. उन्होंने कहा आप ऐसे एंटर नहीं कर पाएंगे, यू हैव टू आंसर द स्पिरिट्स. वो किसी को भी अलाउ ही नहीं करते, ऐसे विजिटर्स अलाउ नहीं है हमारे थीम्स के अंदर, कोई भी नहीं अंदर जा सकता. So he said, yes, I have heard about it that no visitor is allowed. Just like that, we have to answer the spirits. So I want to see it. वो जब वहां पे जाते हैं, the spirits used to ask 3 questions from Oedipus, and he answered them correctly because he was also a blood of Thebes somewhere and somehow he belonged to it, and even the spirit sensed it that he is a Thebian. तो allow कर देते हैं उसको. When he went there into the city with the body of Laius, everyone was, there was a small battle and he killed him. So when he approached to the palace, he was not with the intention of grabbing the city or ruling the city of Thebes. But when he approached to the palace and he saw Jocasta, Jocasta was very beautiful. She was youthful, though Laius was not, because पहले ऐसे ही mismatched political marriages हो जाती थी. वही चीज यहाँ पे भी दिखाई. Jocasta was beautiful. She was youthful. So when Oedipus saw her, he felt sorry that because of me, your husband is dead, and now let's do the honorable cremation. Let's do the royal cremation of your husband. And after that, he proposed her to get married. I want to marry you. Now everyone is taking me as a killer of your husband. So I want to take the city. और आपके जो spirits हैं, they have also accepted me as a Thebian. उन्होंने मुझे allow भी कर दिया है. And that was actually a point to be noted for each and everyone कि इसने सारे आंसर्स ऐसे कैसे सही दिए कि जो स्पिरिट्स थी उन्होंने इसे अंदर आने को अलाउ कर दिया. तो दैट वाज आल्सो अ पॉइंट ऑफ सरप्राइज फॉर ऑल द थीबियंस. उन्होंने उसको ऑलरेडी एक्सेप्ट कर लिया था. जब जोगास्टा को देखा तो इसने भी ये प्रपोजल रखा कि नो, आई वांट टू मैरी द क्वीन एंड वांट टू बी द किंग ऑफ थीब्स. तो उसको एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ा बिकॉज शी वांटेड टू सेव द अदर चिल्ड्रन व्हिच शी हैड विद Laius. She accepted. Even Creon also suggested Jocasta that this is the right time. You can marry her. You can marry him. Sorry, and be a queen and can maintain your position, be like a queen. Because if he married someone else and made her the queen, then you have to leave the country of Thebes, where you have spent so many years. So वो उसके पॉइंट को नोट करती है, उसके पॉइंट पर एग्री करती है, उससे शादी करती है. They had 4 children, 2 daughters and 2 sons. Now it been years, they have 4 children. So अब उसमें 4 बच्चे इन लोगों के होते हैं, Oedipus and Jocasta के. And after that it's been years. Now the curse start falling. It's been 5-6 years. The drought is there, and because of drought the plague is also there. Now the question arises that we have killed the child. Now where come the prophecy is coming true? Now why the drought and plague, famine is there? So again they call Tiresias. He has told us that we have to sacrifice the child, and the curse will not be here, but we have did it. And after the death of Laius, why does it happen? Tiresias said, as I said, the prophecy has true. You have married your son. He said, no, he is dead. They called Creon. Creon said, no, I have left it to be dead. He said, left him to be dead or you killed him? He said, I have left him to be dead. But उसको मारा नहीं था, उसको मरने के लिए छोड़ दिया था. तो दोनों में फर्क है. He said कि just call or go to the Corinth, ask the history of Oedipus. अब Creon कोरियंथ जाता है, वो पूरी हिस्ट्री पता करके आता है कि क्या हुआ था, क्या नहीं हुआ था, what was the truth of Oedipus actually, कौन है ये. जब जाके पता करते हैं तो उन्हें पता लगता है कि they picked the child in the royal cloth and they showed it to him कि इस royal cloth में मिला था, वहां मिला था, उस cave में मिला था. So he understood everything. He came back. He in a very rush. He went to the chamber of Jocasta. That is being noticed by Oedipus. अब Oedipus देखता है कि इतना भागता हुआ Jocasta के चैम्बर में क्यों जा रहा है, तो वो भी इसके पीछे पीछे जाता है. But he couldn't rush like him. वो उसकी तरह चल नहीं सकता because he had a swollen foot, which was already noticed by क्रियॉन पहले वो एडिपस के पास जाता है, एडिपस के पैर को देखता है, उसका पैर सूजा हुआ था क्योंकि उसके अंदर वो एंकलेट फंसी हुई है अभी तक, जो अभी तक किसी ने नोट नहीं किया था इतने सालों में भी, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज ड्रेसिंग सेंस मे बी समथिंग। बट उसके बाद वो किसी बहाने से देखता है और वो देखता है कि वो एंकलेट जो उसने उस बच्चे को पहनाई थी वो आज भी उसके पैरों में फंसी हुई थी, जिसकी वजह से उसका फूट सूजा हुआ था। तो he understood. Then he rushed suddenly to the chamber of Yocasta, and Oedipus उससे पूछता है कि did you get the reason why this drought and famine is here and what Telechius is saying, what kind of curse is this? तो उसने कहा नहीं नहीं मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे पहले केवल योकास्टा से बात करनी है। तो वो योकास्टा के पास जाते हैं, योकास्टा से बात करते हैं, तो योकास्टा को वो सारी सच्चाई बताता है कि ही इज योर सन, मैंने उसको वहां पे इस तरीके से छोड़ दिया था, एंड दैट इज बीइंग टुक बाय द किंग एंड क्वीन ऑफ कोरियन and raised by king and queen of Korean, वो ही Oedipus है, and he is your son. So जब जोकास्टा को ये confirmation होता है, she filled with guilt that what I have done, I have produced children with my own son, and I was actually in love with him, I was actually taking love with him, and was loving my own son like a lover. So she filled with guilt and she just took the knife and stabbed herself. वो खुद को किल कर लेती है. She murdered herself. She suicided, we can say. And because when Oedipus saw Creon rushing in the chamber of Jocasta like this, so he was also filled with suspicion. He was also following Creon. So when Creon was telling all the truth to Jocasta, Oedipus was also standing outside the chamber and was listening everything. So he heard everything, and when he heard, he was also shocked. Ki what is the kind of truth? I was making love with my mother. I married to my mother. But that was all unknowingly. I didn't know that. So first he tried to convince himself, but after when he saw that his mother took her own life in front of Oedipus, he rushed to the chamber to hold the body of Jocasta. He said sorry to her. She said sorry to him, and she died. But he didn't have anything else to say to the body of Jocasta, but was crying and crying, and ultimately was feeling also guilty that I saw my mother like a lover and I felt her like that. So he took the brooches from the dress of Jocasta. They were using the brooches. They were wearing the brooches, pins. वो वहां से निकालता है and he blinded himself. That how dare I saw my mother like that. So he blinded himself. And he left Thebes after that. And this is the tragedy of Oedipus. So from here only, from this play only, this famous Oedipus complex, the psychological one, or you can say the literary one, the Oedipus complex came. That means attraction between a son and mother. It can be reciprocated, it can be from one sided, son's feeling for the mother or only the mother's feeling for the son. She is replacing the feeling of a lover with the son. She is, if she is not satisfied with her husband, she wants to replace the feeling with the son. Or the son might be the one who is getting the love or affection or kind of attraction from the mother because she is the first woman who interacted with him. तो दोनों में से किसी के भी साथ किसी भी तरीके की अगर इस तरह की कोई फीलिंग है तो उसको हम इडिपस कॉम्प्लेक्स बोलते हैं. इट्स लाइक कि नॉट नॉर्मल बट मोर देन अ नॉर्मल अट्रैक्शन इज इडिपस कॉम्प्लेक्स. That is a term came from this play. Now I think the story must be clear to all of you. Now let's go to the second one, Oedipus at Colonus. इस स्टोरी में कुछ बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है. What he has done, he blinded himself, he left the country and went to Colonus. वही सारा उसका पूरा जर्नी दिखाया गया है, how he is spending life and what else is happening in Thebes. Creon become the king of Thebes, how his children are being raised. So Eteocles and other children, Antigone is also a daughter of Oedipus and Jocasta. So these are all being taken, all being discussed in Oedipus at Colonus. But the life, how he is spending and trying to end it in a saintly way, that is being discussed in this play. So it comes into tragedy because at last the death of Oedipus is being shown in the second play. There is not much to discuss because it is only the journey, the life, the hurdles he has faced, and ultimately had his death. So this is Oedipus at Colonus, the second play of Theban tragedy. Now Antigone. Antigone is very important because this is a play which is dedicated to a female and a daughter of Oedipus and Jocasta. She is the fourth child, the youngest child of Oedipus and Jocasta, and there are two sons of Oedipus and Jocasta also, Eteocles, and another one is Philoctetes. So Creon want both the sons to be dead, so he raised them against each other. They joined the different parties. They were fighting in the civil war, and ultimately both the sons died because of the plotting of Creon. Because Creon wanted his son to be the next king, so he never wanted any of the son of Jocasta and Oedipus to be live. So he raised them in such a way against them. And another daughter doesn't have any role. Antigone is the youngest daughter who can sense everything, who was seeing everything, and was against the policy of Creon. Now, to just to maintain the politics, he Creon supported Eteocles and gave him a royal burial, give him a royal cremation. But to the second son, he didn't give anything. He declared him traitor and even denied to give him a cremation. Accepted his body, which was not accepted by Antigone. Antigone said that both were in different parties, both fought for the civil war, both died in the same way. So why you are making such kind of mistakes? Why you are making such kind of differences in my both of the brothers? I cannot see all this, because for me both the brothers are same. If Eteocles had the same procession of cremation, then my younger brother should also have the same process of cremation. So, if you are not ready for it, then I am going to give his body a proper cremation. So, she has been warned by Creon that if you cremated in a royal way, or if you cremated your brother in a proper way, in a respected manner, then you will also be sent to jail and will be beheaded. She accepted the punishment and gave the proper cremation to the brother, and just to save him from the defamation, from the insult of the dead body, to give him a proper cremation, she bear the punishment and was beheaded publicly. And she was also declared as traitor. So that was the tragedy of Antigone. Antigone is called as a hero. She's like a female hero who fought for the proud and dignity of her brother. Okay, that is the Theban tragedy. Now, the very famous Theban tragedy is being discussed to you. Our next play will be Ajax and Electra. Let me rub it and we'll discuss it. Okay, so come back with it. Now, next play after Theban trilogy is Ajax. Ajax is cousin of Achilles. He is cousin of Achilles, and he is famous as the stone man because he is the one who used to fight with the stones. He was capable of taking or lifting the heavier stone and can throw it on the target. So he is famous as the stone man, and he was killed by Hector in the war. So the tragedy is being discussed, and basically the complete story of the death of Ajax is being discussed here in the story, and that is called tragedy of Ajax, the stone man that was killed by Hector. He make a proper plan to kill him because he was killing the Trojan army with the very deadliest way. So this is called Ajax, the stone man, and this information is more than sufficient because mainly the question comes, who is Ajax, why he is known as the stone man. Okay, next most important play in the other four play is your Electra. That is another psychological, or you can say a literary complex, Electra complex, right? It is, we all know, it is opposite to Oedipus complex, that is a love or affection between a father and daughter, as it was in Oedipus. But in Oedipus, the relationship went to the sexuality and they produced children. In Electra, it is not like that. It is just the affection or the kind of relationship in which a daughter supports the father, whatever condition it is, or you can say a father supports a daughter, or a father cares for the daughter, whatever situation it is. That is called Electra complex. Okay, now what happens in this story? I have told you the story of Troy, in Iliad. I have told you the story of Odysseus and Oedipus also. So here the story of Electra is Electra killed her mother to take the revenge from the father Agamemnon. His father was Agamemnon and mother was Clytemnestra. Clytemnestra. ये इनकी mother है. And I told you that in the end, Agamemnon, because he had made many concubines like Cassandra, Andromache, and Helen also. And Helen was the sister of Clytemnestra. When she saw the pathetic condition of Helen, that she was crying, and in front of Clytemnestra, when Agamemnon ordered Helen to help him in taking bath. So that was the very cruel thing, and he showed the disrespect toward Clytemnestra itself. She was already running in the vengeance because he has sacrificed his daughter, the youngest daughter, Iphigenia, if you remember. Iphigenia is the youngest daughter whom he has sacrificed to get the victory over Troy, right? So she was already revengeful for this act, and when she saw that my childlike sister is also being taken by Agamemnon as a concubine or as a slave, and he is treating very badly with her, and even he didn't have a shame, he tried to rape her in front of Clytemnestra. So he went there. I saw Cassandra. Cassandra, after seeing Clytemnestra there in the palace, Cassandra prophesied the death of Agamemnon to the hand of Clytemnestra, because I told you that she was an oracle. So she prophesied that Agamemnon will be killed by Clytemnestra. And when Clytemnestra saw Agamemnon behaving badly with Helen and also Cassandra, so she entered into the pool in the bathroom, you can say whatever. It was a kind of a pond type place where he was taking bath. He stabbed him there, and he stabbed Cassandra also. That is the story of Agamemnon. But when this act is being noticed by or being known to Electra and her brother Orestes. Orestes is the brother of Electra, the son of Clytemnestra. तो basically इनके तीन बच्चे हैं, Electra, Orestes, and then Iphigenia. So he didn't sacrifice Electra because she is very big. She is the eldest daughter, the loveliest one to Agamemnon. And Orestes is the only son, so he cannot sacrifice him also. So he chooses to sacrifice Iphigenia, the youngest daughter. And without the permission of Clytemnestra, he did it, even without telling her. So that is why she was vengeful. But in the 10 years when he was fighting on the fronts of Troy, she met a person known Aegisthus. Aegisthus is a cousin of Agamemnon. Whom Agamemnon, cheated, is ditched, and actually he killed two of the brothers of Aegisthus and served the skulls and flesh of those two brothers to Aegisthus' father on dining table. So Agamemnon was very cruel. इसने एजिस्थस के दो भाइयों को मारा और उनका फ्लैश उनके फादर, इसी के फादर को फूड की तरह सर्व करा. जब when he drank all that, when he drink the blood, when he eat the flesh, when he eat the food, then he told him that you are eating your sons are dead. You can see the faces in which you are drinking the wine. तो उसके फादर की वहीं पे डेथ हो जाती है शॉक से और उस चीज से. And so Aegisthus was also revengeful. So in between the 10 years when Agamemnon was fighting the Trojan War, they started a relationship and had planned to murder Agamemnon. But Clytemnestra, when she saw the cruelty or disrespect of Agamemnon toward Clytemnestra, इसने गुस्से में अकेले इसको मार दिया. तो यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रा और ओरिस्टस ने क्या सोचा, they thought कि Clytemnestra murdered Agamemnon for Aegisthus because she had a love relationship with Aegisthus, तो इसने इसको सिर्फ इसके लिए मारा है because इन दोनों को इफिजीनिया का किया हुआ सेक्रीफाइस से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा था. अकॉर्डिंग टू इलेक्ट्रा whatever his father is doing is correct. वो कभी गलत नहीं कर सकते, उन्होंने कुछ गलत नहीं किया. एंड शी डजंट केयर फॉर द फीलिंग ऑफ मदर, तो उसको उसे फर्क भी नहीं पड़ता 10 इयर्स तक इसकी मदर कैसे रह रही थी, क्या कर रही थी, व्हाई शी वाज क्राइंग फॉर इफिजीनिया. इलेक्ट्रा डजंट केयर फॉर इट. तो इन दोनों ने प्लान बनाया, इलेक्ट्रा एंड ओरिस्टस ने, टू किल क्लैटेमेस्ट्रा एंड एजिस्थस बोथ. बट इस प्ले के अंदर यहाँ पे ये दिखाया गया कि Clytemnestra was successful in killing, Electra and Orestes made the plan, and at the end time it was being executed, and Electra is ordering Orestes that you have to leave the city of Athens right now because I don't want you to be caught by anyone. क्योंकि you are going to take revenge from Aegisthus. Our main target is Clytemnestra. First Clytemnestra को मारते ही soldiers आ जाएंगे. Soldiers के आने पे वो तुम्हें ना पकड़े because your life is very precious. तो वो यहाँ पे प्लान बनाती है, ओरिस्टस को भगा देती है और खुद यहाँ पे क्लैटेमेस्ट्रा को मारती है क्योंकि दोनों मिलकर एजिस्थस तक नहीं पहुंच पाते. एजिस्थस के सोल्जर्स आ जाते हैं तो ओरिस्टस को वहां से भागना पड़ता है अपनी लाइफ बचा के. इलेक्ट्रा को कैप्चर कर लिया जाता है. दैट इज द ट्रेजेडी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रा. And she was imprisoned, but she killed Clytemnestra to take the revenge. This is called Electra complex. कि in the blind love for the father, she took the life of mother. That is Electra complex and the tragedy of Electra itself. Tragedy उसकी क्या थी? That she has been caught by Aegisthus and was punished, was beheaded or whatever. She was dead. That was the tragedy of Electra. But yes, the complex is the hatred for the mother. Just because for the blind love for father. That is your Sophocles, and he has given us two important complexes, two important historical characters, Oedipus and Electra complex. Okay, so in the next video I will discuss you the second writer, second tragedian of Greek classical age, that is Euripides and Aeschylus. I will discuss both the writers in one video. I will try to do that, but I am discussing each and every writer, each and every character, each and every play with you in such a detail that you don't need to go somewhere else for this data. We are giving every description of the play. Also in our description with the video, you can watch, you can note down description, you can note down, you can make the notes from the given description in our video. So stay tuned and keep subscribing us, and we will give you more useful data in the future. Okay, all the best.